we've been very busy working with people about how to turn their setbacks to comebacks.
Hmm.
But as you know, it's an interesting time. I mean, before you just see an earthquake in a certain area, a hurricane, but never a pandemic that hits the entire globe.
Right.
So a lot of our focus is helping people turn their setbacks to comebacks, whether in their personal life or in their career or in their companies that they're running.
Hmm. That makes sense. What's God been saying to you about this time? Is there anything particular that's been on your heart?
Well, I think that for me, it's definitely a time for us to take inventory of where our lives are and if we have prejudice in our lives, because I think that as black men, it's so easy for um, people to just to say, okay, well, you know, they're talking to Tim and Andre, but a lot of folks have prejudice against them, whether they're obese,
Hmm.
whether they struggle with mental illness or addiction, or they're old, the elderly. There's a lot of prejudice against them. So I think it's allowed me to take inventory in my own life, and then also really slow down to the speed of life to understand the meaning and the significance.
Hmm.
But I think as a culture that we become a lot of people that are human doings
Yeah.
rather than human beings.
Yeah.
And so probably 5 years ago, I really stepped into this idea of more being and being in the moment. And I would say that I probably am now at least 5 times more effective than I've ever been
Mm.
by just being in the moment. Like, yeah. So that's what I've been sensing in my own heart.
Yeah, that's something that I think I've found as well, is that it's been a reset for so many people, and but it's a reset that kind of gives you a chance to maybe get the right priorities, have the right priorities in place. I know for me personally, just kind of focusing on, hey, my kids, and focusing on the main thing has been good, and just kind of cutting away the things that aren't as necessary, that maybe got too much of my time.
Yeah, good point. But I'm still a big advocate of the way we were raised and that God is the author and the finisher
Hmm.
of our faith. So to me, he is the author. So he's a great starter. If you study God from the beginning of the Bible to the end, he's really great at starting, but he's super good in the middle too.
Hmm.
And then he's fantastic in the conclusion. His conclusions are pretty intense. And so I think that it's very important for people not to get disappointed and want to give up, because we're
Right.
not.
Right.
And if you don't mind, I'll give one little illustration. A lot of people know how to play cards, and if you're playing poker, if you don't like your hand, you can do something that they call fold.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I don't like my hand. My hand's not good enough to
Right.
compete, so I'm going to fold. And I feel like a lot of people have folded while they're still unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of you are thinking about folding while you're still unfolding. I mean, please, come on, don't give up. You're still unfolding.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's very relevant, because things get tough and we just kind of throw our hands in the air right at that moment when God is about to bring us our breakthrough. So it's kind of like Peter walking on the water, right? When he began to sink, Jesus didn't have to dive in and swim half a mile to get to him. Jesus was literally right there. He was right there when he lost his focus. And
Yes.
if he had just kept his focus a little longer, he would have made it without sinking. So I think that's really helpful. What do you think is going to happen the rest of this year? This year has been so crazy. Um, but do you feel like this is going to continue? Do you think that God's going to turn some things around, or what do you have in your heart about that?
I think number one, you have to put things in its proper context. If I've been watching this really good kind of a docu-series on the life of George Washington,
Mm.
because most people know about George Washington. He had that fake hair and some wooden teeth.
Hmm.
But the reality of George Washington is in his 20s, he was trying to lead and he was failing a lot.
Mm.
And in his 30s, he was trying to lead and he was failing a lot. And in this docu-series, they talk about how he started to find his way in his 40s. And so also I went from there. I've been doing a lot of research on wars, different wars that we've gone through, watching a lot on even World War I, World War II. When you look at the fact that there was an Adolf Hitler that was on the earth, that was literally just being used by the enemy
Right.
to take people out, you have to put things in its proper context that we have been through some very difficult times before.
Mm-hmm.
And so for people to cry out like, it's never happened like this, okay? Adolf Hitler was having a lot of folks taken out.
Mm-hmm.
Stalin,
Mm-hmm.
Mussolini, okay? The Vietnam War, okay? So now we face what we face in 220. We will get through it,
Right.
but it's going to take wisdom. So Proverbs chapter 2 and Proverbs chapter 4 are all about getting wisdom and understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and to cherish her. Because when you get wisdom, wisdom gives you the way out.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be a way out, a way of escape. But Andre, I don't even like to put it within a context of 12 months.
Gotcha.
Some things are not solved for 3 years, but that's okay.
Right.
As long as we're moving towards the solution every day.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is not, I'm not waiting for the end of 220 so we could say it's going to be great in 221.
Right.
I don't really flow that way. I think that this is going to take a minute. We got to rise together.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get wisdom, and wisdom is going to see you out one more time. You killed the lion, you killed the bear. You're going to take down this Goliath too.
That's good. That's good. I believe that. And you're right. We've been through some things before, and we've always made it through. And I do think that God is working on something in the middle of all of this, that, he's turning what Satan meant for evil and turning it to our good. He doesn't send trouble to teach us, but in the middle of this, he's still been teaching us and developing some of us and helping us to be who God wants us to be. So I'm excited about what the future holds. I think that we're gonna, it's almost like, I've heard it before, new level, new devil, right?
Yeah.
Or you can get to that next level. You're going to deal with some difficulty. You might face some things you've never faced before, but that's because the enemy can see something on the horizon, and you're going to be what you never were before.
Yeah, I like that. And I think that it's, if I could use a sports analogy, because I know you come from a family that likes sports. Mm-hmm. Let's say if the Detroit Pistons back in the day, if they had several losing seasons, mm-hmm. you find out, man, I don't like the way it feels to lose. The fans aren't showing up.
Right.
So you try to go get some nice draft picks, maybe make some trades, maybe change the front office to try to get a winning team. And the reality is a lot of you that are watching have not been feeling like you have been winning. Mm-hmm. So this is a time to reset.
Yeah.
And sometimes God will take you left before he takes you right. So the left is a library of learning and a sanctuary of getting stronger with God. So just like the sports analogy, we got to change some people on your team. Maybe there's some people that have been on your inside that you need to back off a little bit, mm-hmm. and bring the right team in and get ready for where you're going next. And I didn't have to change many people because we're doing pretty good out here. Mm-hmm. But I am changing some things that I do and how much I travel, and not saying yes to things I don't want to say yes to, mm-hmm. just because that's just the season that I'm in.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And I think you hit on something really important. The people that are around you, they really make a big difference. I mean, the Bible talks about, you run with fools, you'll be destroyed. And Companionships obviously have an impact on your character, but even beyond that, you can have good people around you and they not be the right people, right?
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that during this pandemic, again, is you got to say to yourself, who would I be okay quarantining with
Right.
for 3 months?
Hmm.
Because some people can get on your last nerve, as my aunt used to say.
Hmm.
But I think that you're exactly right, because you could be the right person with the right plan, but you got to have the right partners.
Hmm.
So, as you know, I work with entertainers. I have over 300 entertainers that I life coach. And what I find with a lot of these people, male or female, is that a lot of their challenges are usually in their inner circle.
Hmm.
It's the people that they partner with. They
Hmm.
may have the right plan, they might even become the right person, but they have the wrong partner. So we gotta check ourselves on the area of who is in our inner circle.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And making sure that people really have your best interests at heart. I know one of the things that I've been sharing is kind of rolling with those that roll with you, not chasing after people. Um, you need people that are excited about what's in your heart and excited about your future and really are, I guess it's a little dated now, but we say ride or die, right? People that really do that with you, versus people that maybe you're not so sure about.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. So in regards to the things that you're doing, is there something coming up that you're really excited about uh, that you've been looking forward to, or is it really just a full reset for you? How things going forward?
I'm excited about just people. I'm excited about folks rising up. It's a day where I think people are tapping into their creativity. I love what LeBron James is doing with that show called The Shop. I love how Jamie Foxx is getting out there and stirring it up. You know, I've been friends with Kanye West for 15 years. I'm excited about what he's doing. As far as projects that the Tim Story Camp is up to, we have 3 shows coming out. One is on helping prisoners. Another one I'm doing on the homeless.
Mm.
I have another show with Yolanda Adams that we're working on with BET. I'm excited about that. Got a new movie coming out. It's a Tim Story and Friends with AMC Theaters.
Mm.
That's coming out next year about turning your setbacks to comebacks.
Hmm.
Got a new book with HarperCollins coming out in May. Working on a new project with Will Smith. All that stuff I enjoy. But to me, my vision is to see people's vision come to pass.
Hmm.
That's what I'm into. I feel like at this stage of my life, um, I'm a player coach. I've been able to get a few things done, and I like helping people get their thing done.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you have a lot going on, a lot of great stuff.
But that's been for years, but I stay this calm.
Hmm. That's good. That's good. And you're obviously still in the pulpit from time to time and still flowing in the healing ministry.
Yeah, I mean that's who I am. I mean, I've been that guy since I was raised in the church since I was 4, and I've been traveling since I was 20. But I feel that for me, I enjoyed the rise. I enjoyed the level, getting over 2,000 invitations a year, traveling the world. Andre, I went to 75 countries.
Mm.
And I enjoyed that. And I still go and speak for my friends. And we birthed a church that's super, super cool called the Congregation
Mm.
in Orange County. And that church is doing really well. I'm the lead pastor. I only missed 3 Sundays all of last year. That does well. We have a lot of people that watch us online. If you just went to Tim Story Official, you could see who watches online, but we have about 17,000 people that watch us online. And then I do the Hollywood Bible Study still. That's been going since 1992. And that's over 7,000 people that consider themselves part of the Hollywood Bible Study.
Mm.
So I love that. You know, that's me. I love the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Man, I'm excited to hear about what God's doing, and I thank you so much for just taking a few moments to hang out with us and kind of inspire those that are connecting with us. I'm with you. I think God's got something great planned for so many people, and it's definitely exciting to see it happen. You know, it's exciting to see things happen. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, and
Of
hope to
course.
connect time soon. And you know, who knows? Maybe we'll work together in some way or another. You never know what
No,
God.
we'll do something. But again, just let me say, proud of you and proud of what you're doing. I like this format for you uh, because you're really a thinker. You think outside the box. You're creative. Always have been since you were young. So keep on keeping on. Life is good.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and we'll see you later. Have a great day, and you all have a good time. See you next week.
Thank you.